Hello, dear students. My name is Priyanka Malhotra. This lesson is for Class 12 English Core from the NCERT textbook Vistas. This is Chapter 6 On the Face of It by Suzanne Hill. Dear students, the objective is to familiarize you about the author, central idea, theme, and the main two characters of the story. Suzanne Hill is an English author of fiction and non-fiction works. For the novel I Am the King of the Castle, she received the Somerset Maugham Award in 1971. She was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2012 British Honours for her services to literature. Now, students, let's proceed with the central idea and theme of the story. The play On the Face of It deals with the idea that appearances are generally deceptive. On the face of it is an expression which means that something is good when we take a glimpse of it, but upon a closer look, it is not so. The story is about a teenage boy, Derry, who has a burnt face, and Mr. Lamb, who is a disabled old man with an artificial leg made of tin. Derry accidentally enters his garden so that he can hide himself from people who hate him because of his ugly face. Mr. Lamb not only welcomes him in his garden but also encourages him. On the face of it, everything seems to be all right, but actually, it is not so. The sense of detachment or isolation gives him much more pain than any physical impairment. The play also deals with the idea that a physical impairment is always painful. It makes one pessimist. A person with a disability wants others to treat him normally without showing any concern or pity. He wants real encouragement to live his life meaningfully. Now, students, let's proceed with the main characters of the story. Number one, Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb is an old handicapped person. He has lost one leg in the war, and so he walks with a limp, with his tin leg. People generally avoid him. He longs for human company and suffers from the pain of loneliness. He welcomes everyone to his garden and ignores the faults and shortcomings of others. In spite of his handicap, he enjoys his life. He believes that one should not give up hope and faith in one's capabilities. He takes interest in everything that goes on in the garden. In spite of his handicap, he finds life worth living. He is kind, generous, optimist, nice old man. Now, the second main character of the story, Derry. A young boy of 14 has an ugly half-burnt face due to acid burns. He remains conscious of his handicap. He feels totally hopeless and lost. People stare at him and avoid him. He does not like the members of his family because they keep on pitying him. It is only Mr. Lamb who gives him hope and confidence. He learns from him as to how to face the world. In the beginning of the play, we find that Derry is pessimistic in his approach to life, but his meeting with Mr. Lamb proves fruitful. At the end of the play, we find that Derry has developed an optimistic approach to life. So these were the main two characters of the story. Now the crux of the story, my dear students. Optimistic approach helps to deal with all the challenges of life. Mr. Lamb and Derry are two different sides of the same coin. Both Mr. Lamb and Derry suffered from physical impairment, and both were lonely. Mr. Lamb was optimistic, but Derry was pessimistic. Mr. Lamb ignored his challenge, while Derry magnified his ugly look. Mr. Lamb was not concerned about what people say, while Derry was very much taken up by the signs of fear and desire to avoid him from people. Mr. Lamb taught Derry the art of discovering beauty. So, all these qualities of each made them different from the other. The interaction between Derry and Mr. Lamb had been short, but the impact on Derry was very powerful. Mr. Lamb tried to show Derry that life is much more than his obsession with his disability. It is good to know one's limitations, but limiting oneself because of the limitations is wrong. Mr. Lamb instilled a new hope in Derry to live life on his own terms. He leaves him with a positive frame of mind. In the end, he dies, but leaves his spirit behind. So, dear students, we got a message from the story that it's not external beauty that matters. What matters is internal beauty. Appearances are deceptive. Sun may look bright and shiny, but it is actually fireball which can burn you into ashes. Work hard and have a good day.